Let's get it.
What up, you guys?
I'm your girl, Kiara C. Hope, your style and feel good provider.
And I'm your girl, Ree, your life and style confidence bestie. Y'all know what time it is, so go ahead and grab your cups.
Because we're here to fill you up.
On all things life, style, and everything
in
between.
I feel like we internally have a 1, 2, 3, then go. we say it every time.
ESP. Look, we're feeling each other. We're feeling each other.
Oh, sis, is a new week. How are you doing? How are you feeling?
I'm doing good. I can't complain too much. Y'all know life be lifing, and we're not, we're not. I guess we got to go through it. Everybody gonna go through some things in life, and right now we just kind of going through it. But God is holding us together, and that's all. I'm smiling. Look, I'm smiling, and I'm here. So yeah,
I love to see it. You already know the I'll Have a Cup crew. We love you. We send you good vibrations.
I feel it.
Back.
I know y'all do. I know y'all do, and I love y'all too, and I appreciate y'all more than you, and I appreciate you, Key, more than you know. So, how you doing?
I'm good. I'm okay. Just been working it out, trying to get the I'll Have a Cup podcast name out, trying to get some more cups of coffee.
I feel you. Look, buy us a coffee, y'all. We getting thirsty.
Yes, and if you're watching via YouTube, you can see the actual link where you could support the channel.
We would really appreciate it. We love y'all.
Yeah, it's a new week. We have some love talk,
some Grammys talk, because some shit popped off.
Yeah. But we'll get into that. But this week we are tapping into serial dating.
Ooh.
Are you drinking anything specific? Are you drinking anything?
I'm drinking some water. Your girl's trying to stay hydrated over here. I was gonna bring out my Via Ray. I'm not even gonna lie. Have you tried that?
I haven't tried it yet.
I like it. It's really one of those wines that sneaks up on you.
Okay.
Like I'm just drinking and I'm like, I don't really. And then the next thing I knew, I was like, oh, okay. I liked it. And it's like $20 at Target.
I was at Target today. I was like, oh, they sell Easter Ray's Prosecco here. I was looking at that video the Victoria Monet's boyfriend created with the Prosecco.
I don't know if I it.
Oh my God, he just made me want to buy it. That man is hard.
And it was Victoria Monet's baby daddy?
No shirt on, and he's making, like in Insecure, where she made like that signature Prosecco with a splash of like vodka. He's like mixing it up. It's giving your favorite ASMR, and I was just like cringing, but I was loving to see him. But it was cute.
If y'all don't know, Key does not like ASMR.
So gross.
Why'd you have to make that noise? Making ASMR noises talking about you don't like ASMR.
I'm like, stop. That is just ugh.
She said it annoys her, y'all. It doesn't really bother me, but I haven't seen that. But the wine, look, sponsor us, Easter Ray. Look, okay. Because the wine is popping though, sis. I'm not lying. You should go try it. I do a little pickup. I do a little drive up because sometimes when you go into Target, you do too much. So in order to not do too much, I was like, let me just order this wine and we'll just see how it tastes. I really enjoyed it.
Nice. That's true about doing too much at Target. I was like, focus, get what you need, get in and get out, because this place should be in here. I don't even go to like the home section sometimes anymore. I'm like, tunnel vision.
Because it'll keep you in there. The next thing you know, it's been 2-3 hours, and you like, damn. And plus, it's Black History Month, so shout out Black History Month first of all. But Target has their Black History collection, so I've been all over that. I've already picked up a couple of pieces. I think I've got what I'm gonna get though. Did you get anything?
I got I was showcasing it last week on my stories. I got the melanin hat. I love that melanin hat because it works for my locks. The bag, the tote, the green tote. What else? I got a few things. I got is it Hey Ama scarf. The red one. I got that. And then the Black woman wannabe comfortable or brave and soft. I got that t-shirt. They had some good stuff. I just wasn't in the mood to like try stuff on, but I really wanted to try on that green dress.
I didn't try on any of the dresses. I did try on, so I got a couple of things too. Mm-hmm. I picked up the shirt. I may have been wearing it in last week's episode. It says like Queen on it, and it has like a silhouette of, well, not a silhouette, but like a Black woman on there. Mm-hmm. I picked up the earrings. I think it's by the same artist. I wish I knew the artist's name. I feel bad. But I picked up the earrings that are like a hair pick. So I got those. Mm-hmm. And then I picked up the shirt that was, I think, inspired by or made by a Black Target worker who was also an artist. Yes, I didn't know that it was on their little tag, but it has like mouths on it with like a grill, and it's like a disco ball in it. It's just it's given 90s.
Is it the different patches of like different, that mm-hmm. t-shirt is dope. That's dope.
I picked up that t-shirt because I was like, mm-hmm. I don't know. I liked it. The grill made me want to get a grill out here, pot wall.
I am so weird about t-shirts. I literally had it in my hand and I was like, I don't like oversized t-shirts. Like I don't like the bulkiness. So I get weird about that. But I was like, that's a dope shirt, but not for me today. But that's a dope one.
Yeah. So yeah. Mm-hmm. I'll support the collections.
Yes.
That might be what I be doing. I'm gonna rock a little black on black history look for Black History Month. Okay. Have on my little. This is another shirt. I think I got this last year or a few years ago from Forever 21. Back when everybody was trying to do collections with Black artists, you know, that some of them places kind of quickly fizzled out.
Let's not get into the D&I work, but that was last week's episode. But that has surprised me to know like there's so many companies now that no longer have like D&I. I don't know if cohorts is the right word, or you were, you know, expressing that had exactly and now it's like gone.
It's gone.
Been another music.
And we're brewing up serial dating for the ladies today. Is that what we're talking about?
Brewing up some serial dating. Is it healthy? Is serial dating healthy?
I feel like you should go first because you're the one out here. Not that you're a serial dater, but you're the one out here in the dating pool, in the dating life. Do you think serial dating is healthy? Because look, I'm married, locked down. 20 years.
I think dating is healthy. However, the intent is what can make it be whether someone is serial dating or not. Because I feel like there's a healthy way to date, and there's like a terminal way to date where you're just like leaving people high and dry. And to me, that's like the realm of serial dating. Like you're dating with really no purpose. You're just doing things to have that high and then dropping someone and then leaving them there like hanging.
Do you feel like you've dated a serial dater?
Oh, that's a good question. Have I dated a serial dater? Yes and no, because he wasn't a serial dater, but I feel like he more so love bombed me. And that they kind of go hand in hand when I was looking up like a serial dater versus a love bomber.
Tell us what a love bomber is. I feel like most people know what a serial dater is at its core. We can drop some hints in case you out there and you clueless. We'll drop some hints in a little bit. But love bomber was a new one for me.
Really?
Yeah.
So I'm going to directly give you this definition from Cosmopolitan. So love bombing is characterized by excessive attention, admiration, and affection with the goal to make the recipient feel dependent and obligated to that person, explains licensed therapist Sasha Jackson. So the chilling tactic is often used by narcissists, abusers, and even cult leaders.
Okay. Do you feel like that's very specific, number one? I feel like that's more because you said it's like people that have narcissistic and abusive behaviors already tend to be the people that would end up being considered a love bomber. Is a love bomber then a type of serial dater, or are they considered two very different things? Or could they be both?
I feel like how you just explain it, like they can potentially be a type of serial dater because they're very similar in a sense, but then they do have like slight differences. But if you are a love bomber, then you like to serial date because you are, you know, you thrive off of just love, the honeymoon phase, and then you just drop and then things just change.
So in the notes, because y'all know Curious Georgia over here got us prepared, honey. She got us prepared. And sis did. I read up on it because I was like, I've never really heard of love bombing, but I did see where it's very much it's almost like an infatuation stage. Like, and it'd be like, you're like, I'm giving you flowers and we're talking about, you're almost like, I could spend the rest of my life with this person. You're having these thoughts, like they're giving you these vibes so that then that person who's receiving that is having those thoughts, like, you get those butterflies, but it almost feels like that love at first sight type of is what it sounded like to me. Like this can go somewhere. And that person's literally like not thinking that at all. Like they're just like, once this is done, I'm done with you and I'm about to move on. And I'm just like, damn.
But they make you feel like you're the one.
You're the one. We're about to get married like tomorrow. And you're like, oh my God.
And I've been there, and that is a sucky feeling. And it's so crazy that like once the high came down, I think we both felt that, I don't want to say low, but we felt like, oh, something's different here. Like we felt that shift, and I would never forget that day. Long story short,
Give us a long story. Shit.
In this definition, what really pointed out to me is where it says, with the goal to make the recipient feel dependent. So I didn't know that I was dependent on him because this is when I had just moved back to Maryland after everything that happened with my family. So I low-key was dependent on him to cheer me up, to, have shift my focus back on fashion. We would do photo shoots together. We would do things together. I mean, to the point that he was telling me what to wear and, you should wear this and you should do this to your hair. And I was rolling with it because I felt like, why not? This was like my first real quote unquote relationship back in Maryland, needing someone to cater to me and tend to my needs because I was pouring that out to my family. And over time, I mean, those first 2-3 months, they're the best. You're having fun. You're out every night. Like you're living it up and you're not even thinking anything of it. You're on the phone late at night. Like you're just doing things. You're living in that moment until that shift hits. And we went to the gym together and something just felt off.
Okay.
And he looked at me. He was like, do you sense what I'm sensing? I was like, what? And he was like, we're kind of in our regular day lives. Like this was over the holiday when we had met right before the holiday. Then we spent the holidays together. So everyone's on break. Everyone's like, in the spirit, you're having fun. And I was like, yeah, I just don't know how to put a word on it, but it just felt like, okay, we have to get back to our regular lives, work and fun is over. But then that's when the shift happened. I still thought, no, I still want to be in this same energy. Why can't we be in that energy? And he was just like, it just can't be that anymore. And I could not understand. And I was like, motherfucker, you took me to the high, to the motherfucking high. And
to the top. And then you dropped my ass.
But we didn't stop talking. We didn't stop dating, but things became rocks. And to me, it was just like when you're the recipient feeling this emotion, you're like, how could you say all the things that you said or did all the things that you did? And then to turn around and say, I'm going back to my ex, or this isn't working for me, or you're not the person. To me, the worst part about dating is when a person does too much.
Okay.
And that's a serial dater, that's a love bomber, because you don't know, especially at my age, I hang with a lot of early 30-year-old women, and this is the prime conversation about dating. And I feel like, yeah, we're fragile and we want something real, but when somebody comes in your realm and they're like, I want to do this, let's communicate. Like it's to the point that we used to have Sunday conversations to check in on, like, measure the health of our dating. Like that's how delulu I was in.
With this man?
Yes. because I thought that that was okay. I was like, well, yeah, let's communicate, because he had just gotten out of a relationship. So I feel like he had it dangling over my head. I don't want to be too serious, but you still want to do boyfriend and girlfriend shit.
So you're like operating in this space of, we're doing all these things together. You're making me feel this way. Maybe there's not a title on it. Maybe you did put a title on it. Doesn't really matter. The feeling is there. The connection is there. The chemistry is there. And then one day it's just not there.
Yep. Yep. And one day you're just left saying why. Like, it was my first real, like, adult, I would say, heartbreak after like my first like high school love. Like, that was like my first real, like, oh my God, I didn't think that you weren't serious. It was a heartbreak. It was traumatizing.
And it would sound like a whirlwind. So how long were you in it? Like, how long did it, from the beginning to like, how long did it last? How long was it? It was good. It was, everything was rocking. We going, everything felt good. And then how long was that? And then it just stopped.
I want to say a good like 8 to 9 months.
Okay. That's a long ass time.
It was
another person too.
Yeah. Yeah, because we really connected. We really had a lot of similarities. I want to say like 7 to 8 months, because we officially ended things. If we met the year before during, I want to say this was 2021, that we had ended things in the summertime, because when I knew like things really had to end, he took me out to dinner just to tell me that he was going back to his ex.
That's narcissistic behavior. So that, and it like and almost abusive. Like, who does that?
And I was going to say that too. I was like, that was a narcissist.
I'm all for you being honest, but you ain't got to be that motherfucking honest. Like, damn, motherfucker, just say this ain't working. I'm gonna move on. I wish you the best. But do I need to know that you going back to your damn? Like, you just wanted to jab me in the back. You want to feel you had, like you said, you had me at this high, and now I'm gonna just pop you off the pedestal. Like, now here you are.
Yeah. I mean, to take me out, and oh Lord, when I think about those days, like and you tell me if I'm in Delulu. If someone is asking you out, hey, let's go here, I would love us to talk. Your mind is like, he's not gonna let me down. We're going to talk about this. We're really going to work on it. And I was so anxious, and I was so, mind you, I'm still not outside of this realm of like, Kiara, look at this shit. He is not for you. You still team that person, and that's all you see. And when I say at this point, the calamari coming out, the drinks coming out, he was like, yeah, I'm going to go back to my ex.
How did you react?
I couldn't drink. I just looked at him, and I said, "You could take this back." I said that to the waiter. He was like, "Key, take it home." I said, "I don't want this shit."
Like, who says it? What are we doing?
Because I couldn't put two and two. As soon as I pulled up, he was so adamant to like take my parking ticket, and I'm like, "You don't know where it's gonna go." Like, I would have never thought a man would be that vicious to take you out, to tell you all this, to lead you up, to let you down.
Not 7, 8, 9 months in either. Like, this isn't just, the first month. We are establishing some things here, Again, title or no title. If we're communicating like this, talking every day, we're, essentially dating. 7 to 8, 9 months in, and you're going to take me out to a restaurant and be like, hey, not only is this over, but specifically, I'm going to go back to my ex now. I just needed you to know so you can, damn, motherfucker.
Yeah. Yeah. And I enjoyed this week's topic because it's like, oh, so many women are like, if you just be honest, like, it's okay to date multiple people. It's okay. I think it's very healthy. But when your intent is wrong and you do too fucking much, you're hurting that person for sure. You're leading someone on, you're letting them down thinking that you could be the person that they want to be with, and nothing.
you don't have real intentions to go these places where you're making this person feel like this could go.
And that's why he always wanted to have that Sunday communication check-in. So that way we were always clear. We were always on the same, we were aligned with what we were doing. But over time, I'm like, all right, fuck this conversation, this Sunday conversation. Like, what are we doing?
What are we doing?
You know, there's a certain time where I feel like as a woman, we should be like, all right, what's going on now? I do not want to go with the flow. I do not want to act like I was in pure delulu in that relationship. And when I look back, I'm like, there are so many things that I will never do again in my next, relationship. Like,
it changed you. Changed the way you look, perceive dating, perceive men, probably too.
1,000%. 1,000%.
Wow. Ooh, juicy.
I think there's a way to go about serial dating. It doesn't have to be looked as a negative. It can be totally fun, but just don't be out here hurting people.
I think we see, even celebrity serial daters. Like, I feel like, I don't know about you, but in my opinion, I feel like a Lori Harvey or a Common, which I don't know now that I've learned more about Lovebombing. I don't know which category Common may fall into. But I do feel like we see it. Like, you can see it almost playing out. Now, granted, we're not invested. You can't be as invested in their lives because they're celebrities. So you don't know what they got going on. They playing on different levels. But it just makes me think of people like, because you see Lori Harvey going from this person, and not that she's not with them for a while, but it's like, sometimes it just feels like it's serial dating in and of itself is too much from the outside looking in. As someone who's not dating at all, well, in a sense, dating my husband, but I'm not dating new people is what I mean. So it just seems rushed. Like, do you think people should take time, celebrity or not, in between like these? Because 7 or 8, 9 months, I feel like is quite a long time of just casually dating someone. But again, who am I? I feel like that's an investment. Like, what are we doing with this?
Okay.
So it's like,
I think it's based on like if you really are striving for commitment or not. Like, I'm totally cool with, if you want something casual, let that be known, because then I could decide if I want to be casual with you or not. But as far as like Lori Harvey, because we do see the guys, we see it in her light that she's multiple dating. She's not doing anything different than the next woman. She's dating, she's figuring out what she likes, what she doesn't like. We don't know what she's doing behind closed doors. Like, but I think what she's doing is healthy. Should people take time? You always got to take time to get to know someone. But a lot of, and I could be repeating myself again, a lot of dating nowadays is, are you serious in that? Because she's not ready for commitment.
To the point.
Yeah, she's not ready for commitment.
Go ahead.
No, I was saying, from the outside looking in, she's had some good candidates. She's not ready for commitment, which is fine.
Do you think that's why she, like, this whole NDA clause, like all of this is part of her, in a sense, dating? Like, don't be out here telling what I'm got going on, because I kind of know in a some way, shape, or form that this is probably going to end, and I'm gonna move on. You know what I'm saying? Do you think that's where the whole end? Because it's like, damn, you gotta have a whole NDA. I'm pretty sure she makes men sign NDAs to date her, which is why when they break up, and maybe they are just the most stand-up guys. We know the track record here, right. And I feel like y'all know at least Future.
I'm about to say Future ain't signed no damn NDA.
That's what I'm saying, but he hasn't said a word. Look, he might be trying to get back in when he can, interested.
Tell Stevie Harvey, I don't wanna. Okay, that's what he said. Like, I'm good. He repeated it twice. Okay.
That's interesting. I never thought about that. If she had them sign NDAs. I can see that.
Muzzle. They quiet.
Yeah.
Think of J-Lo too. J-Lo being with like J-Lo just and I'm gonna be honest, J-Lo almost feels unhealthy. Like, cause you're just like, damn, J-Lo. Like, she's like, and like, honey, they putting a ring on.
What makes hers feel unhealthy?
I don't know. I don't know if it's just like, girl, she's been like with, not like she's been with so many people. I don't want to say it like that, but it's just like, I think it's public. And so I think that's what makes it feel. And I think that's why some women feel like Lori Harvey's is so public. I think it's just you see it more. But at the end of the day, are they any different than your friend who is out here dating? I don't know. Probably not. And I don't know.
Treatment. If we're saying to like their caliber of dating, of course, but I think the morality doesn't change. You still want somebody respectful. You still figure it out if you even blend with this person or not, or are we even going to mesh? On the outside looking in, amazing picture because she was making some damn good pictures. But what's his name? They look so good together.
Her and A-Rod, J-Lo and A-Rod.
I thought that was going to last.
I thought that was going to last too, honey. But she said, honey, let me spin the block. Y'all know Key said she ain't ever spinning the block.
Oh, God, did you not hear my horrific story? I will never spin the block. Kick rocks.
He said the block can burn the fuck down.
The block is hot, okay? Fuck that shit. My black fire, baby, my blackbird. I don't want nothing to do with that. My block on fire anywhere.
Y'all, I am crying.
Listen, hell no.
I thought they were gonna last though, but honey, she spun the block because she said, "Don't be fooled by the rock that I got." Because I'm still Jenny from the motherfucking block.
And I wonder if she just missed that. What was it like? What he obviously gives her that spark or something that she's like, I'm just about to go back to what I know.
I don't know, but I feel like you can look at. I mean, I would have to pull up her. I don't want to say a roster because I ain't trying to make it sound like that. But look, J-Lo been with some folk, okay? But I just feel like if you think about it, to me, I think she just like somebody who's got a little bit more edge. And when people were coming for Ben Affleck, like the way they felt like he was treating her at different little award shows and just kind of be a little bit more, they like, look, you with J-Lo, and I feel like that's what she likes about him. Like, I'm not saying she likes a bad boy. I'm not going that far. But like, to me, Mark Anthony, he had a little, he had a little extra. He had a little oomph. You know what I mean? And I think well, let me ask you this. Do you think she falls into a category where it's like the A-Rod of the world, from what we see? Again, I don't know A-Rod. I don't know how A-Rod is behind Libby. So let me just say that off the rip. But he just seems like that kind guy, that smart guy. Like, he ain't seemed like he was going to be, nonchalantly brushing her off at an award show. Whereas Ben Affleck is like, look, girl, I'm ready to go. Look, everybody's looking like they look like they're having problems, and it was all of this. But I wonder, like, is it a matter of like, this is who I know this is the person I should aspire to be with. This is the type of guy I know, would probably be the best for me, but this is what I'm attracted to. Like, this is what I feel like I need. And is that a bad thing?
No, but I think when you're in the public eye, it can be viewed as such. Like, for example, when he was ready to go, Ben Affleck. Have you ever seen The Town? The movie he's in with like the four guys that rob, like the Italian guy robbed the people. No, he was. I say that to say you could tell like he's like, I don't give a fuck. He's like the I don't give a fuck guy. And sometimes women are attracted to men that are like have that persona of just like, oh, he's so like gangster, like he don't give a fuck. He gonna say what he gonna say. But to your point, A-Rod is like the sweetheart, the nice guy on the outside, and maybe she's still from the Bronx. Let's not forget. She's still a Bronx girl, okay.
She's from the block.
I don't think it's a bad or wrong thing, but I feel like the heart can't help what the heart wants. And sometimes you're going to be in that predicament. I'm like, oh my God, he's the good guy for me. But then this one, he has all this shit, but he makes me feel something. And that's
a hard place to be. Like, I think women of all levels, I think that's what you run into. And that's why you have these little cliche, like these little statements where it's like, the good guy finishes last and all of that, because it's that adrenaline. But then I feel like if the adrenaline always runs off, and you have to then like find someone new to then kind of rekindle that, like, is it worth it at a point? Is stability, at what point does stability and just wanting quote unquote the good guy is, when does that take over for those, like, when does that kick in? Because I feel like those type of guys, from what I was reading about, not every guy, so I'm not gonna say that it's like those tend to be your love bomber type of dudes. Like, we gonna be in this, and then the next thing you know, it's like it runs out because that relationship was built on that feeling of adrenaline and this is just what I like and da da da. But when it starts to wear off and those holes, you start to see those holes. Not to say Ben Affleck has holes in it. I don't know him neither. That's where I feel that's where you run into that love bomber territory. And that's when I think women may have to take a step back and be like, not necessarily is it me, but is it the people that I'm attracted to?
No, that's a great point. I was going to say that, like, sometimes as females, we do have to take a step back. And I think it's so important to understand how we love when we are excited, when we like someone. I haven't been dating. It's not like frequent dating that I'm experiencing, but when I do find somebody that I enjoy and I'm like, oh, okay, we like each other, I got to still tell myself, hold it down. You still got to be like, don't be overly excited. Don't do too much, because in the back of our heads, it's like, if you know that you love hard, you are going to be in complete la la land. And once he knows that you're pretty much liking him more than he can even like you back, things are going to shift that way. So you really do have to understand how you love and pace yourself. If you know that you're a woman that I am all in once I know I like you and you like me, you still got to give yourself some time if you are looking for something like long term.
I feel like a lot of women, I don't know if it's our age, if it's like, we're older now, but I feel like a lot of my friends that are in our age range is what I'll say, struggle with that same thing though. You know what I'm saying? Like, I think that is such because you realize, I think there's so many different levels to that. Like, if you were to add those things up, it's like, I'm getting older, maybe I don't have kids. Maybe I want to get married and I want to have a family. And so, like, it's like, yes, I'm dating and I'm dating with these intentions, but the men I'm dating don't necessarily have the same intentions at these same ages and levels that we're all getting to. And so I hear a lot of women say that there's just like, it's like I fall too quick. Like, maybe it's not always like the fault of the person, but it's like I've found myself kind of fools rush in, you know what I'm saying? And then I'm head over heels because I'm looking at life like I'm trying to build something here. Like, bing bang, not that it has to be that quick, but you know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah,
37, I'm about to be 38 this year. So I'm like, my friends are approaching 40 and you want to be able to, let me settle down. You want to still have kids before you feel like you're aging out and all these different things. So I think I hear that a lot. And so it's good to hear, I guess, from someone else, like from you, that's, they're not the only ones. It's not just like, that might be just what it is. Cause there's a lot going on. It's like a lot goes into dating, I think, for a woman.
I feel like nowadays, so two things came to mind. The first one, there's a pattern I'm learning. Like, we have to understand, even if we're doing soul work for like if we're healing through like friendships, family crisis, or being traumatized and stuff, like, we have to constantly learn about what we attract, to your point, or how we love again, or what are the patterns that we're experiencing with these past relationships. Like, if you're single again, what is that past pattern? What were you doing? What was that significant other doing? Like, you cannot walk out of something and not learn from it and not think that, you're going to go into the next relationship with the same energy. Then that's going to fail as well. But I wanted to ask you, because you said it, you hit on the note, like, it's hard out here. But can you think of back then when you met Matt and like the energy of what it was to be in a relationship versus like now?
The energy of like that first of getting to know him, and how it is today?
Or what men and women were doing differently?
This is where it's so hard for me every single time, y'all, because I really feel like I'm gonna toot my horn on my man. I had a good ass man. I feel like Matt, and I don't know if it was his upbringing, I don't know if it was just him, but he wasn't someone who was a cheat. Like, he just wasn't that guy. And I think now I would say what I feel like has changed is access. Is the only thing that when I look at the differences of when he and I met, because you got to think, y'all, like me and him met in 2003. It's 2024 now. There wasn't as much there wasn't even a Facebook when I very first met Matt. And so there wasn't as much access. Now, were there going to be some grimy ass niggas out there? Were there going to be some some dog ass niggas that I talked to? You know what I'm saying? That I dated? Yes. I'm not going to sit here and pretend like that wasn't a thing. But I think that overall, what has changed is that level of access. And also people just starting to realize like what I have to do versus what I don't have to do. Like, I think our generation of parents, you kind of still saw that for not for everyone, because everyone's life is different, but I still think, even though you think of your grandparents' age, I think you think about how they tried to stay together. We always talk about they stayed together, and I don't want to get into reasons why, because that's a whole other episode of why your grandparents stayed together. But you saw those relationships where people are staying together, and then you get to our parents' generation, and I think for at least my parents and his parents. My parents were together for a vast majority of my life. Like, they didn't go through divorce and all of that. They didn't decide to call it quits until their kids were pretty much grown. Same for Matt's parents. They are no longer together. But I think the difference is now you have access. You have people like, I want to be happy. I deserve to be happy. Like, it was like little smaller things made, I think, that work back in the day. Like, it was just like, oh, you loyal, you talk to me on the phone, like, we kicking it, you make me laugh. Like, it was literally, and I'm not saying those small things don't work, but now it's like, what do you bring to the table? And like, when I was, and again, granted, I was a lot younger, y'all. So I like to always preface that too. I was 17. I really didn't know what the fuck I was doing. I didn't know where all this was going to go, but I can tell you, I knew he was a good guy. He never gave me any reason to doubt what he was in it for. We talked about different things, how many people he had dated before. And, we took it slow too. We were just we were together because I think it was that chemistry, that whole, and I ain't gonna say he was a bad boy, but he had that appeal. So you have that attraction to that side of him too. And so for us, it was just fun, I think. And I think I like to say that I was a lot younger then, because now I also understand that while I could date and we can make it fun and we can take our time, the older you get and you're not established, I feel like I don't want to take away from women who feel like they don't have that same amount of time. I ain't got time to have fun. I ain't I'm about to be 40, and so that's the part where I always try to empathize, I guess, with especially my single. I empathize because it's y'all ain't got time to waste, or at least that's how you can feel. And I'm not saying that you all should feel that way either. I don't feel like anyone should feel like I have to settle for just anything because I'm running out of time. I really don't think that is a thing, but I think we place those things on us because that's what society would have you to believe.
Agreed. And that's ultimately the battle, getting older and also realizing, oh no, I don't have these things I thought I was going to have, to the point that you start questioning, what does life look like if I don't get that? What does life look like if I don't have kids, if I don't get married? And it's crazy that I'm hearing more conversations about women that are, accepting that over their life. And I feel like it hurts if you really wanted that, if you really aspire to have that in your life. But then I don't think there's anything wrong if you naturally don't want it. There's some women out here that naturally don't want it, but we're in the neck of time and you come across some bullshit. Here's another bullshit story. And this literally happened 24 hours ago.
Oh, so it's fresh.
This was yesterday. Okay, this is the story of my life. Okay, this is a sip and share. Okay, let me take a drink of this damn wine.
Let me take a drink. I ain't got my wine back here,
but okay, because I listen to you and I listen to She Show It. Shouts out to Belinda. I am still on these dating apps. I'm still open. I'm still communicating with dudes. Met a guy on Bumble. I think this was over the weekend, and he was like, "Hey, would you like to?" Immediately, like, "Do you want to meet up?" And I'm like, first of all, for me, I'm very hesitant on that. I would like to talk to you some more and get to know you before we just jump to meeting.
So but a red flag for you.
Yeah, and I was like, okay, Kiara, just try and see. So we talk, we exchange numbers. Fast forward to Monday, I am out working with my 2 girlfriends. We just, we remote. We go out to this food hall. And he's like, how's your day going? I think it's good. I'm out working. Oh, do you want to meet up? I was like, damn. I literally text, damn, you just go for it, don't you? But I erased it. Because I was like, Kiara, behave yourself.
Text and delete.
Relax yourself. Just calm down. So, yeah. I was like, I deleted it. I was like, sure. I was like, okay, but I'm, with my girlfriend. So in my mind, I'm like, well, my girls are here, so I feel good. He calls me and he's like, are you still working? I said, no, we're pretty much wrapped up. He FaceTimed me. Let me elaborate on it. He FaceTimed me. He said, okay, cool. I see you soon. Send me the address. No problem. Send you the address. I tell my girlfriend, like, yo, he's supposed to come through. She was like, this is great. This is a casual time. Y'all just cackling. Y'all just talking. I said, okay. It's getting later. And I'm like, should I just text him? Is he coming? She's like, yeah. I said, hey, are you still coming? Y'all. He blocked me.
He blocked you? How are you going to block me when you asked to come see me?
An example of what I am talking about. And my girlfriends, they were like stunned. And then she's like, no, Key. Because okay. We broke down what happens when somebody blocks you on your phone. You have an iPhone. If you text somebody and the message does not say delivered, you're blocked. I was told if the message goes green, comment, let us know what you think. I was always under the impression that if that message doesn't go through, either you're blocked or there is something wrong with that person's phone.
Ain't nothing wrong with that nigga's phone. It was just working.
Yeah. It was delivered 5 minutes ago.
So what the fuck happened though? Like, why would he have to block you that quickly? Did that come out? Like, is that you? Like, not you, because I know it's not you. You just say that. But is it a matter of, was that too forward of you for him? Or is it a matter of, nigga, who was you with that you had to block me to make sure my messages didn't come? Like, do you see where my mind goes? What is that? Where did your mind go?
He wasn't interested, which is fine. It's fine because the only thing I could think of is you FaceTimed me. So you saw me.
It can't be you're not interested. That's bullshit. Because if you weren't interested, you're not going to FaceTime me and then ask me for my location and then tell me you're about to come meet up with me and then you block me. Who got in the car?
Girl.
Who got in the car? Because that's all, like, now you know what I'm saying? Now you're like, hey, are you still in?
I'm still checking, like, you coming through or nah? Like, what's up? Nothing. That message did not even go through.
And haven't heard shit since.
Haven't heard shit? No, you block back. And don't waste my motherfucking time. I don't need to sit. What's not a gain is not a loss, but it's irritating. So my girlfriends could see that I'm like, when it's little stuff like that, it's irritating because it's like, don't do this. Don't. You want to meet up? And I'm like hesitant on my end, but I'm like still trying. Like, all right, let me see what you about. And then that happens. So now you have to be like, all right, on to the next.
I be trying to be poly positive for y'all. Like, I really do. Like, I really be trying to be like, but there are good guys out there. Like, I married a good guy. Like,
I don't deny it.
It gets harder and harder to say it though, because I mean, for real, this is not just you. This is not like your unique experience. Yeah. This is a lot of women's experience.
And they have more crazier stories than me.
They
have some crazy ass stories out there. Not to like be judgmental or be funny. Like sometimes I cringe because I know that people want love, but sis, there are certain signs you just cannot ignore just for love. I'm sorry. Like I get told like I'm out of Stacy and I, if you guys don't know, like she's my older sister. Like I'm more of the tough one. You know, I've had a guy size me and my friend up. She's tall, I'm tall. She's like 5'9", and the guy was like, well, your friend is more approachable than you are. You seem like the one that don't play. And I said, we both were laughing in my mind. I was like, what the fuck?
What does that even mean?
Like, these are two guys that we had just met. This was like over the summertime, and we were talking. He was like, you just give me like, I have to be more serious when I come talk to you. But your friend, she looks more friendly and more approachable. So guys will come talk to her first. I was like, is it because of my height? Because of, I don't know. And I would love to know about any other tall women that are listening to this. Like, I think about these things. Like the first thing is like, oh, I was intimidated by you because you're tall. Because when I'm outside, I'm not wearing motherfucking kitten heels. I'm wearing my heels. You either like it or you don't.
Fuck a kitten. She's wearing no motherfucking kitten heels, bitch. And I'm with you on that. Cannot stand a damn kitten heel.
Kitten heels are worse for your ankles.
Look, you ain't gonna get all my 6 foot nothing, but you're gonna get all Keith's 6'2". Shit.
And I think about stuff like that, but I can't let it knock me. This is who I am. I love who I am, and whoever can handle it, hey, if you can't, bye. But we are pressed for time out here, and this is the type of shit that you go through. So in my mind, I'm like, was he a motherfucking serial dater? Because he was just so adamant to meet up, and then he just left. Like, is this what you do?
Child, I don't know. That whole thing to me just sound like another level of he had some other shit going on. Mm-hmm. But at the same time, it just makes me think like, where was I going with this? I just like, okay, so you know, women, we're always like, we want you to be honest, just communicate, just be honest. Like, are y'all motherfuckers taking it too far though? Like, because I feel like if for you to just have met me, you do not know me. Me and my friend are literally standing right here next to each other, and you're gonna look me in my face and tell me my friend seems more approachable. Like the audacity, the unmitigated like motherfucker, who are you? Like, who are you to even comment on me like this? I'm just like, I don't know if this was the honesty that we was asking for. This wasn't like you going too far.
That
you don't have to like tear someone down or say something negative about someone. Like, just don't say anything. Like, whatever happened to that whole, like, if you don't have anything nice or valuable, like, just don't speak.
Yeah.
Things are just better left in your head. And I think that's another thing where, and I don't know if it's society, I don't know what it is, but I think people are just, these Twitter fingers done turned into, you know, y'all really think y'all can just say whatever out in front of somebody's face, like
where there is no respect towards women, there's no like mannerisms. It's just, I'm gonna tell you how I feel straight up,
and you can take it or leave it. And it's like, I'm gonna leave it every time. I mean, I don't have no choice but to leave it. But if I did have a choice, I'm like, who wants that?
Right. They're so honest, but nobody thinks about the delivery. How's it coming across? Like, you can still be honest with me. You could be like, sweetheart, like, I'm not even trying to play you, like, you're beautiful, and like still like try to be like, but this is what my perception is, and all I could do is respect it.
Honey, you have to do that like 5 dates in. You can't do that to me on I just started getting to know you day one, because you really don't like. I don't understand. I am all for you knowing what you want, what you don't want, but if I'm not what you want on day one, we don't have to talk. There ain't nothing to discuss. And if you want to tell me something about me on our 5th, 6th, 7th, 8th, 9th, 10th date, and you have something that you want to bring up, I might entertain your shit. But like, we're gonna have to get some foundation going before you can be commenting on my life like you know me day one. I just think that is wild. Like, that you have to tell some. you not really my type. Da, 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 da. Well, nigga, you didn't have to tell me. Like, why did we even start having this conversation then? You see what I'm saying? I don't understand that mentality. We didn't even have to go here. We didn't even have to. Like, oh boy from yesterday. I didn't even know you from John 2 days ago.
My sis is worked up. You see, this is how we be feeling. This is how we be feeling on the inside. And then y'all need to soften up. You gotta give it a chance. No, because it's some bullshit that you experience. Like, I don't know if I told you about this one. A guy I met, second date, and he's just like, "Why are you so tall?"
You did tell me that story because I was like, "What the fuck?
Why?"
But who says that shit, Key? Like,
exactly.
Where do y'all get the audacity? I need to find that. Like, I need that level of audacity in my own life because y'all, they out here living. Yes, no. And I mean, if we starting out the gate, like you already on my bad side. You know what I'm saying? So now you got to work your way. And I don't know if you're going to be able to get back over there because I'm just real like, okay, that was enough for me. Red flag. That's probably why I had met Matt when I did. Because when I tell you, I'd probably have to be the woman who's just like single by choice. Like, fuck these niggas. Because all of this, it is riling something up in me. I can't do it.
I came across an article of that. This woman who's like, I should have pulled that one up. That would have been good. In her 60s. And she's single. I think she decided to be single like for the rest of her life in her early 40s. And she said, I am so happy that, she also learned that, she needed to leverage more of her friendships and pour more into that. But she's written a book. She's like, I go out when I want. I enjoy my single life. And I just learned that I don't need anybody else to make me happy. And I was like, damn, like, I pray for us girls out here, man. I really do, because the conversations that I'm a part of, like, especially in Atlanta. And one thing I told myself, I will not normalize the horrible dating scene in Atlanta.
I'm telling you, you said since you've been there that it ain't shit.
And it will make me pack my bags and go.
It's that bad?
Yeah. Yeah. I will leave. I will leave.
Because it's just nothing there.
Me? The block is fucking crazy, okay? I done told my girls, I said in my 30-something years of life, I have never dealt with this. There is no reason why I'm not going on consecutive dates. There's no reason why you feel like there's so many women competing with you to talk to these two men. It's bananas. It's bananas. Mm-hmm. There is no reason why. Mm-hmm.
So the 60-year-old woman, because now my mind is just curious. So she chose to be single. Does she have sex? Does she date? Does she just do nothing at all?
She didn't really highlight about her sexual life. She just maximizes her life. She goes out with friends. Sometimes she does know when to be to herself. And I need to find that article. But no, she didn't really talk about anything physical, or if she even misses that part of life. She's just enjoying herself.
And I know she's older.
Yes.
I also think of like younger girls who are out here dating, and I think when you think of serial dating, you automatically think of like men being the serial dater. Do you know any women serial daters? Are we even considered serial daters? Because I feel like when the woman is the one doing it, it's almost like you get an extra label that you may not deserve that begins with an H.
Like a hoe?
Like a hoe. You know what I'm saying? Like we're told you're going through, she going through her whole phase and all of this, but it's like there's a double standard, if you will. So is that a fair statement? Like, you know what I'm saying? Can women just be serial daters the same? Like, I know we can. I'm not gonna say we can.
Yeah.
But it's like, I feel like when you talk about a woman who is out here kind of, dating this guy, and then the next thing you know, we broke up and, he's the rebound and now she's dating this guy. That woman gets labeled more often than not. The men are doing the same thing. They're just serial daters. They're just love bombers. They're just, they have all these like politically correct terms, but we just hoes. You know what I'm saying?
About some shit.
It's fucked
up. As you said, yes, women can be serial daters. I feel like it can potentially be more detrimental if you're a woman that leads with emotion, because there's no way in my eyes that a woman that is a serial dater and that leads with emotion can really date multiple men and not feel anything. Like, you may be falling in love with somebody or two. So I think if you know how to maneuver and handle that and kind of be cold, you gotta kind of be cold. In my eyes, like some city girl shit, nigga. I don't want shit from you. I just want your money.
And I have met some women that I feel like could fall in that category, but at the same time, sometimes, like, does it make you feel like, just being honest, do we look at those women also then that they're like, I think of Tab when she was talking about Wendy Williams, who hurt you? You know what I'm saying? Like, do you feel like those women who can literally just be as cold as we feel like most men that are dating and can just ghost to like, you feel like they've been like hurt, or there's like something that there was some type of trauma that led to this? But is it always the case? Like, are there really just women out here that, you know, we're considered emotional, but maybe there are things that we have gone through, or maybe they're just who I am. Like, I don't want to be tied down. I don't want to be committed. Maybe I'm too young. Maybe this is just not the life path that I want, you know?
So we're going to use Carisha, please. Carisha, please come up to the stage, please, because she started out with, he's giving me a monthly allowance. I am having fun. We having a good time. There's no strings attached. He does him. I do me. Can't nobody tell me down the line Carisha ain't catch feelings for this man. That man got a little baby on a little situationship, friendship, because that's not a friendship, because they fuck. Friends don't fuck. Okay? She caught feelings. And that's why I said, even when we are, as women, some of us are experiencing our whole phase, I think there is nothing wrong with that. I think, hey, get you some, have fun, be safe, but know when you need to stop, because chances are you may be falling for something. You may just find like a friends with benefits, and now you want more than the benefits, but he's already said, I don't want that. And now you got to control your feelings. I think there's a split second where we feel emotionless and we just want to have fun. But then as women, naturally, we just feel emotions and we're going to start caring no matter how we slice it.
And I don't think sex always has to be like, I think sex turns that up, especially if you're having sex with that same person. But I don't even think it always has to be sexually charged for you to get there. You know what I'm saying? Like, I think women, and then maybe it's the charm, I don't know, but it's like they reel you in. But I also feel like if we're not getting reeled in the beginning, we're not interested. Do you know what I'm saying? Like,
say that one more time.
So I feel like, so basically what I'm saying is like we get reeled in. Like, the guy may know what they're doing to reel us in, but at the same time, I feel like as a woman, if you don't feel that early on, like I'm getting reeled in, you don't want it. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's kind of like, it's harder for us to stay into something when you don't feel those butterflies initially, is what I will say. And I wonder if that's like a maturity thing in the sense of you grow out of that, because maybe you do. Because again, I'm been with my man since I was 17, 18, 19, you know? So it's like young, but it's like, at the same time, if he wouldn't have been doing things like we were talking about, good guys versus bad guys, that kind of kept me wanting him, you know, like we wouldn't be here. Like, we wouldn't have made it. And so it's hard sometimes, I think, when we're saying don't always go for the bad guy and you can choose the good, but it's like, you got to still have something that's going to reel me in, you know, as a woman.
So to that point, yes and no, because sometimes I feel like, and I've been privy to this, of the initial conversation, or maybe sometimes the initial physical does nothing to me. And I'm like, I'm not even interested in his ass. But let some conversations be flowing. Let him do something. Let him be, to the point where he's treating you the way that you want to be treated. That man would turn so attractive.
But that's still reeling you in. I still feel like that conversation can still. I ain't saying that's the looks that reels you in.
I thought you meant like the initial spark in the beginning, because I'm like, it could grow.
I do think it can grow, but I think that we still need that. At some point, it's like, if you don't have that, I think that's where the woman fizzles out. And I sometimes think that's why people look through at things like it's like this good guy versus bad guy. Because it's like the bad guy is keeping your attention. I don't necessarily think it's that. You just have to like keep my attention. And it doesn't have to be based on your looks, because I'm a firm believer that the looks ain't gonna last forever anyways. You know what I like? So we can, but I feel like you have to be, and I also don't want it to sound like bring something to the table. That's what I want to make sure it doesn't sound, because it's not about what you're bringing to the table, but it's like, we have to have a thing. But I think sometimes, and I just wonder sometimes, if that love bombing thing is like, we're not necessarily looking to be love bombed, but that's what's like sucking. I need that to be pulled in and to maintain this. But on the love bomber side, I'm gonna need for you to not be a person who's only doing this because and knowing that you're doing these things intentionally, and eventually you're gonna back out. I think that's where it all. But that's hard to figure out, is what I'm saying. Like, I just feel like so I don't be faulting y'all. when you fall for somebody, because it's kind of like also what you've been taught to do. Like, that's what I think you were also saying, is like, that's what society tells us. These are the things you're supposed. You see this in Disney movies. You see, like, you want the man to come to sweep you off your feet, and he makes me smile. He treats me like a princess. Like, and it's like, if you're not getting that in the beginning, but then this person turns out to be a love bomb, I'm just like, it's too much. I feel for y'all.
In 2024, if I'm okay with you not giving me less than, then I'm okay with that. However, to keep my attention, to bring something to the table, you need to be bringing something to the table to get my attention. Like, when I say, like, all right, for instance, if a woman is in this phase and she's just hooking up, I don't want nothing from you. I know what I want from you, and that's what you're bringing to the table. You have to give me something for me to even be entertained or even entertain the thought of you. If it's that one thing, boom, your job is done. Nice to know you. Goodbye. But if I'm looking for something more, you better come with something. You better be taking me out or anything like that. Or sometimes that's why a lot of these women, even in Atlanta, they know that this nigga don't look all good. He's not that attractive, but he's spending the money. He's taking her out. He's doing this. And she may not even be, she don't see him as a 9 or 10, but it's the treatment. The treatment is a 9 or 10.
The treatment is a 9 or 10.
And sometimes I'll say 50-50. Some women may end up falling for the guy. Some women is like, he is meant for that, but I'm gonna go ahead and keep doing me because I know I'm not attracted to him. It starts to be a game. It starts to really be a game out here. And it's like, I'm sorry. That's when I say I don't got time for that. Like, I could probably talk to 2 people at the same time, but 3, 4, 5, I think that's borderline serial dating at that point.
I think that's insane. And how are you keeping up with all of this? It's just too much. Too much.
So, come 2024, God, please don't bring the serial daters my way. Please.
Did you want the long haulers?
The U-haulers.
The T-haul, look, haul me, okay?
Listen, that could be another conversation. Just maximizing your life. Maybe we bring some women on the show of, in this season of just embracing your singleness and not feeling sad about the damn shit. Like, it's to the point that sometimes I don't want to talk about being single because it always feels like where's the violin? No, I'm tired of feeling sad.
You're okay.
Yeah, like, I'm okay. Like, let's not forget about the greatness that we worked hard to get the things that we have in our life. Like, I want to pour into my friends. I want to create. I want to learn. I'm doing those things. I'll still remain, keep that door open, but sometimes you got to close the door because of some bullshit that you may come across.
I feel that.
Gradually open it up again. So I just want us to maximize our life, even when love is not happening,
It's not, it shouldn't be your only focus. I definitely agree with that. And I think that's where we fall into that trap of, thinking things should have happened by a certain time. Mm-hmm. And so you get stuck there. So I think that is some really great advice from Miss Key to just continue to live your life. That's your cup of inspo. Continue, if you are out here dating, continue to live your life. Do the things that you enjoy, do the things that you love. Go out with the people that you want to be out with, because honestly, I feel like that's where you be like, that's where you're going to find your people. I ain't saying that the online dating don't work, because shout out again Belinda, because it worked for her and it works for a lot of people. But a lot of times I feel like that old saying of, you're going to meet that person, like the person that's supposed to be for you. Yeah. You're going to meet them when you're out doing things that you want to do, because that's what they enjoy doing. And the next thing you know, it's like, oh, we have this in common. Oh, you know what I'm saying? So there's somebody out there, y'all. Don't give up.
Yes. Reed, what's the iced tea of the week? What's the iced tea of
the Grammys? And I'm going to talk about Jay-Z. Okay. Did you hear his speech? I believe he got the Dr. Was it the Dr. Dre? The Dr. Dre award. He got an award. So he got up there, honey. He had Blue up there on the stage. Look, we're gonna set the scene. Y'all know we're gonna set the scene. So Blue looks so cute, number one. And that white dress with her little boots on, honey. I was like, get it, Blue. But they're up there, and honey, he was giving his speech, but it took a little turn. And he was basically like, he called the Grammys on their bullshit. Let's just say that. He's like, this basically, he was talking about Beyonce. We just gonna call a spade a spade. She's like the most, has the most Grammy wins in, is it Grammy history? I'm pretty sure. Yes. And he's like, and she's never won. That's insane. Never won album of the year. And he's like, make it make sense, And so then he's like, look, some of y'all gonna feel robbed. Some of y'all will be robbed. And I think people started laughing at that because they were thinking like, and I think he meant in that moment, some of y'all should have won and some of y'all are not going to win. But I think people were kikiing in the background because they missed that. Yeah. But they didn't miss this last part when he was like, and some of y'all don't even need to be in the category. And I was like,
they said, oh, that's what they heard. I'm like,
Blue was sitting over here. Blue didn't know what to do, y'all. But she was like, he said she's nervous. I'm nervous. And I'm thinking, look, because it takes balls to get up there and you're winning an award at this place. It wasn't given. A lot of people said, let me ask you. A lot of people was like, oh, he's on his yay shit now. Cause like, he don't, Kanye had his whole moment. I don't feel like it was the same type of moment. I also don't feel like he diminished anyone's specifically. Like Kanye was like, look, Taylor Swift, you the problem. Jay-Z didn't do that. But I think he also said something that just needed to be said. Because it's like, make it make sense. And it's not just her. It's like Black women's album, like maybe since Lauryn Hill. I'm trying to think. I'd have to do some research. Y'all know I ain't Curious Georgia. But there ain't too many Black women out here just winning album of the year. Did Cardi win? I can't remember.
No, Cardi hasn't won.
Not album of the year?
No.
I know she's won a Grammy. But it's like like Taylor Swift. And, I know she's the Swifties and all of this, but it's like, we're all sitting back here like, we know real shit. You know what I'm saying? And at a certain point, you just feel slighted. So I was glad he spoke up. Did you have any thoughts? Did you think it was right place, right time?
Right place, right time, and time to bring up the conversation. Like, no shades towards Taylor Swift. Like, she's an amazing artist. I just feel like sometimes cut the bullshit. How y'all gonna give that to her for the 4th year? Once we learn that there is an entire Grammy committee that votes, there are voters. So you're gonna sit here and say that Renaissance, which shut the world down last year, She doesn't deserve that.
That win.
She shut the entire globe down with Renaissance doing a world tour. Put some respect on her name.
If not now, then when? That's how I felt about it. I'm with you. I was like, if not, like, speak up. I do feel like she kind of, a lot of people were saying that she was kind of looking more like embarrassed, because he did say, I don't want to embarrass her. I think he knows his wife, you know, but at the same time, he's like, I'm going to advocate for my wife, and why not on this big stage and, you know, on this big night? Why not? You know,
he wasn't even nominated.
It's insane. It is absolutely insane. And I think people were saying, you know, well, how do those artists feel that are in these, that have made it in these categories? And he's like, you didn't deserve to be in the category. And like he said, you know, he said when he gets nervous, he speaks the truth. But at the same time, it's like the truth just needs to be spoken. We're all sitting over here on the other side having these same feelings about some of these artists. Now, look, I know I probably get canceled for saying some of the names, but at the same time, it is what it is. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's true. So I personally love that. I love that he spoke up, spoke out. I'm here for it.
Me too. It took us all by storm. Because I feel like nobody was there. Even Blue was like, Daddy. Her elegant, beautiful, charming self.
He looks so cute. But
amazing.
I can't say that we weren't all like clutching our pearls, just like
it's some bullshit that she didn't get nominated for that. Like, again, Renaissance shut the world down, and he let it be known, and it's time. Like, some of you don't even deserve it. Some of you are going to get robbed. Okay, Taylor Swift for the 4th year. I'm like, come on,
just please.
And even Candy Burr, she gave them like some insight on how the voting process goes, how they have a certain amount of celebrities come in, and then there's like a secret committee that comes behind them, and like I want to say like maybe validates the voting.
I think narrows down their option. They get them down to, I think she said like a final, let's say, I don't remember what it was, 3, 5. I guess that's maybe about 5, because you think of the categories. But ultimately, that secret committee is who selects, like you said. So I did see that clip of Candy. That shit was insane. The only other thing I wanted to bring up from the Grammys, because we talked about our good sis last week. Did you see where they tweeted out that Miss Nicki Minaj and Ice Spice had won a Grammy for Barbie World? And when they did the announcement on the show, turns out it was not them that won in that category. And so that was supposedly the first time. Now, we know that Twitter has not been around in all of Grammy history, but that is the first time in Grammy history since the inception of Twitter, now X, that something like this has happened. Everyone feels like this was almost like an intentional slight, and I want to know from you.
Is this the case where Killer Mike actually won?
I don't remember. Can I just say, look, I'm sorry. Y'all know I got ADHD. Y'all already, look, Key knows me. Where the fuck was this Killer Mike album? Like, I didn't even know Killer Mike had an album. This man done won the rap album of the year. He done won 2 other Grammys. I said, now wait a minute. That might have been who shouldn't have been in the category. Look, let me stop. I don't know who Jay-Z was referencing.
But I heard that today that they announced it. Amari Wiggins talked about it today, how he didn't like that a lot of what we saw on Twitter of like the Black people winning, that was the pre-Grammys. So that we didn't even see it during the actual show. Okay. And Nicki Minaj announcement, I'm assuming that that's what you're referring to with they announced Nicki Minaj, but it was actually Killer Mike who won the Grammy. And to your third point, nah, my bad, Killer Mike. I ain't listened to your album, bro, but I'm so happy for you. I didn't know he came out with an album either.
I didn't even know the man had an album out. And as much as I feel like Charlemagne talks about Killer Mike, I don't listen to the Breakfast Club like faithfully every day anymore. I'm just gonna be honest. But at the same time, like he be talking about Killer Mike like they, you know, he got him on speed dial. Shit, Charlemagne, you didn't tell us nothing. I had no idea. When Matt like I heard that from Matt, he was like, "Well, Killer Mike won." I said, "Killer who?" I know good and damn well who Killer Mike is, but again, make it make sense.
We need to follow up on why he also got arrested too, because that shit was
because he had a warrant on his ass, and he was.
Are you serious?
I think Matt said that he had a warrant on him, so they basically he won the awards, goes up there, accepts awards or whatever. They know exactly where you are, so they picked his ass up. I don't know what the warrant was for. Shit, I don't know. I be knowing he do a whole lot of things. I don't know.
Black man. Look, I want to say we're in regards to Nicki Minaj. Karma's a bitch.
Hop up on the good foot, did end.
Dropped Mike, because there's a thing about battle rap. Like, yeah, you could throw bars and stuff, but when you go to the deep ends of talking about somebody's dead mama, and you think it's a joke, and this woman has to now have security around her mother's gravesite, and look how Megan is doing. Megan is fucking winning.
She looks really good.
She looks amazing. She signed a new deal. Hiss is the #1 song. She looked good. Karma's a bitch.
I told y'all last week, I'm not even a big Megan Thee Stallion fan.
Yeah. Yeah.
That was her mic drop moment, and not responding was her mic drop moment. Like all of these things. And again, to what we said, look, not to go back to last week, but what we said last week, Nicki Minaj sitting out here looking silly. So it is what it is. But that is my sugar honey iced tea for the week. The Grammys was crazy though. There was a lot of things.
It was entertaining. It was better than the actual red carpet. So we can continue. The show was better than the fashion.
The fashion was not given, and I don't even want to get into it because we'll go too long. What the frap you watching on TV? Are you watching anything this week?
What am I watching? I'm still on my Ready to Love wave, but I wanted to talk about, because we mentioned it last week, about this to-be film that is the talk of the town. It's called The Marriage Pass. I'll give you a quick synopsis because, of course, it's a movie. Pretty much this couple, I want to say they're Caribbean because I hear like some Caribbean accents. You kind of see like the wife is really distraught, and we don't know where her trauma comes from, but you can tell that they lost a child. So she's traumatized. She's healing, working through that. The husband's a doctor. And, after the loss of their child, they're pretty much in this stale state and just trying to figure out what's next for them. Long story short, she finds out about the marriage pass and she proposes it to him. And she says, let's make a deal. We'll give each other one pass. But there are rules with this. You do your pass, I'm going to do my pass. But the next day, we don't ask each other questions. We don't, nothing. We do us. So he was like, but let me just back up a little bit. In the midst of this, she has a seductive sister. And she's an influencer, beautiful Black girl, and she is just sultry and sexy, and he can't keep his eyes off of her. So, long story short, who you think he finna use his pass with?
He used the pass on his wife's sister? No!
He used the pass on his sister, and he explains it to her, though. She was like, so what do I owe? Because he took her out to dinner and everything. Your sister and I decided on doing a pass. So they freaking get entangled. They're in an entanglement now. But for him, he was like, this is the one time only. She couldn't help herself. She is now more involved than he is. Now, at this point, she's dating his friend. I guess I'm
just at him, like to get back at the husband.
Well, to pretty much be casual, like she's not interested in him. Long story short, the friend notices that there's something more between them two. Wow, you gotta watch the movie to see. The friend dies. The friend that she was dating, yes, his very close best friend dies. So now they have murder on their hand. Okay, and I don't know if you want the whole thing
because now look, we don't want to tell she's trying to tell y'all to watch the movie.
The Marriage Pass. I'm gonna stop right there. But that is the premise, and it gets crazy towards the end. There's so many twists and turns. But yeah, he used the marriage pass on his wife's sister, and they just go a little bit too deep. And the guy that she was dating, he ends up dead. They have a murder on their hands, and I'm gonna leave y'all right there.
Now I'm intrigued.
First of all, Tubi is free.
What y'all not gonna do is have one. First of all, we're not gonna have no damn marriage pass. I don't care what we going through. Fuck you in that pass. Number two, you gonna use the pass on my sister?
Like, damn.
All the people you could have chose out of all the women.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. I might have to watch that one. I'm gonna keep y'all posted on if I watch that one or not.
Okay.
She may make me download Tubi because that just sounds intriguing.
Yeah, that's a good one. I'm saying the quality's on point. It's a good Tubi movie. It's not ghetto. It's not. I just seen some ratchet ass Tubi movies. That's a good one. Well executed, and the end is gonna have you like, oh my god. I think Tubi is now like, God, Tubi. Whoever's listening from Tubi, go ahead and reach out to us. Okay, they have a thing where they like to twist movies.
Okay.
Either in the beginning or towards the end, and they don't do like your regular endings. Like,
so you kind of like, you feel like you don't know where it's gonna go. Like,
yeah.
you really don't know. Because I'm someone, I don't know if you are, but I'm very much, let me know if you all are too. Let me know in the comments. I'm someone who tries to like, not that I try to figure it out. It's just like, I figure it out. Like, I can be watching something and just like, oh, I've connected all these dots. And me and Matt will kind of look at each other and I'm like, he's like, you already figured it out? I did.
They're not predictable like that.
Okay.
2 Tubi movies had me on my ass like, no the fuck. Yes. They're not predictable.
I'm intrigued. Y'all, I'll let y'all know over the next coming weeks, maybe next week, maybe the next week after, if I get to watch The Marriage Pass. So remember that. That.
This was a good episode.
It was.
Where can the good people find us?
You all know you can find us over on Google Podcasts, on Apple Podcasts, and on Spotify. If you love your girls and you love this episode, don't be afraid to go over to Buy Me a Coffee and buy us a coffee at I'll Have a Cup podcast. And I think that's it.
That is all. Thank you all for another good week. We hope that you have a great week, and we'll see y'all next week. Bye-bye.
Peace.